That's DJ AM. Rest in peace.
Oh,
Um, that was I think that was just a shoot I was doing with him when he was working with Travis Barker, and he was doing a lot of the residencies in Vegas.
wow. So sick.
There was another one of DJ Quick.
And
that was for one of his album covers.
And shooting one of these, like, this is again more of your concept of like seeing something and then kind of like making it come from like concept to fruition. Is that correct? Or
yeah, like he was doing a studio session, and he was like, "Hey, I want you to shoot me with all my equipment." And I was like, at like eye level, you wouldn't see it all because you're like, there's only so much ways you can stack up that kind of equipment to see it all. So I got a ladder and I shot from the ladder looking down at him, and we've just put the equipment all around him and just told him, here, hold, your favorite keyboard and all that. So
that's cool.
It came out pretty good. There's some other shots where I'm even more back.
Right.
Like I had, a more open lens, and you could see even more equipment. It's crazy. But that was a pretty fun shoot.
Really cool.
We where our offices were was like before it was called Skid Row, and now there's like it's an area called the Artist District, but before there were all the artsy fartsy people were down here. It was mostly home, and this one of our like friends that he would come every day and we'd chop it up with him, and so we were just talking about his grill, and he was like, I said, "Hey, keep it real. Let me see your grill." And he started laughing and showed me. And I was like, "Damn." I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't get it like that one.
That's so good. Wow. That's sick.
That's one of my favorite pictures of Dr. Dre, especially live. Like, I don't think I could have asked for a better shot of somebody performing live.
Right.
For me. I just think like the light is perfect for him. It's Dr. Dre, one of my favorite musicians ever, and it's like I don't know if I could have beat that with any other artist for my own liking. Maybe if I would have got like Robert Plant and Jimmy Page, playing at the Song Remains the Same concert.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, that would have been there for me. But for me, during these times, this is the live shot for me.
It's beautiful.
And there's some more homies. It's like we call them like hood flicks, where like a lot of members of the same gang get together. We do like a family photo. So the guy in the back on the left, he's a friend of mine named Trouble, and he was like, "Hey, you want to take some pictures of me and my homies?" I was like, "Yeah." So he's like, "Come down to the hood." I went over there and we did like a family portrait.
That's cool.
And then right after that, the cops came and started. Everybody had to kind of like escape, I guess you call it.
Jeez, all kinds of stories and different adventures to get these images, huh?
Yeah, good ones.
Good ones.
This one, the sheriffs came with their guns out, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on? Where you guys? What's going on here?" I was like, "What's going on where?" And by then, everybody had ran, but I had all my equipment, so I couldn't really run with all this stuff. And I go, "I don't know. I wasn't with anybody. I'm by myself." And they're like, "You didn't just see a bunch of guys right here?" I go, "I don't know. They might have been over there, but I'm right here doing my stuff with my truck and with my bag." And they're like, "Oh, okay." They didn't see the cameras and all. So they were like, then they just kept looking for them. They were like running, chasing them around, but it was pretty fun.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, finding different perspectives of these like scenes. You've been so embedded in the lowrider culture and just the Los Angeles culture like this. How are you're still finding just moments like these that really captivate the whole essence of that, the vibe and everything?
Well, yeah, like usually I was the guy like in the front, by the front of the car, and I'd take a picture
Hmm.
and getting that view of the car,
Yep.
getting the height and all that. But now I'm just looking for different shots because now there's like 30 guys in that same position that I used to be at in the 90s, where
Yeah.
getting that same of the car. So now I like to just go to the back. Like back in the day, you would see like maybe one or two guys with a video camera.
Hmm.
And now, if you go to one of these functions, this is a more recent thing. There's like 30 to 40 guys with cameras or phones. So now I kind of like to step back and show that part of it, like
It's beautiful.
there's more cameras, cars
Yeah.
at a
Yeah.
low rent,
Look at
craziness.
it differently. Still using the same, your favorite lenses, but just finding these new and different perspectives that kind of put you there, huh?
Yeah, just getting the whole scene pretty much now. But this was on an overpass over the trains in Watts, like the metro trains
Right.
that go above. So this was up on one of those bridges that
Wow.
people cross over to get back and forth to the trains, and that was in the parking lot for a train stop.
Hmm.
And like maybe 50 lowriders pull up and just took over the spot and had a little hopping contest right there.
That's cool. This is, I mean, this is a great book. This was for your book, right? This is the cover of your book.
Yeah,
But this is
yeah, that's
also
the
just,
cover.
what an iconic image. Let's talk about this image because this is an image many people have seen worldwide. And tell us a little bit about this, Esteban, please.
This was shot in 1994. A shot of a female gangster, and I had been shooting like maybe 10 feet away, and I was shooting, top to bottom, like her whole body. And for some reason, I just said, "Hey, let me just get a shot of your hands real quick." And I went in and zoomed in and caught, I think it's with a 50 millimeter lens, and I just went in and got a tight shot of it, and never really thought of it um, until years later.
Wow.
I would be hit up to do interviews for magazines, and they would say, "Hey, can you send us 10 photos to go with your interview?" And I'd say, "Yeah, sure," and I'd get them I'd get them 10 photos, but I would notice that I was always getting like the full body and the background, like, portraits. So I kind of wanted to throw in something else to mix it up a little bit. So I would start throwing in like details like tattoos or like this, like her throwing up LA. And if I was gonna shoot, like if I was sending them car stuff, I'd send them like little detail shots so it wasn't, all from the same angle. And I noticed that people gravitated towards this picture the most. Like
That's
whenever
cool.
say there'd be like a 10-page interview, this would be like on the first 2-page spread.
Wow.
It'd be
Yeah.
the photo, and the interview would start, or this they used it for a couple covers of magazines. So it just started. I started noticing that people were gravitating to it more, and I would just send it out more and more. And then I started doing a T-shirt with it and
That's cool.
putting it in art shows. And it ended up taking off, and people started getting it tattooed on them. And I think it's the most tattooed photograph ever in the world, because I got like a couple hundred photos of people getting it tattooed on them.
That's epic.
And I could say that because like I've seen, like, if you think about what photographs have been tattooed on people the most, think of like what, Marilyn Monroe or something like that, but it's always a different photograph of those people.
Of course.
This the same photograph getting tattooed, hundreds of times.
That's so
And
cool.
it's like every day people sending me it.
That's cool. That must be neat to see that, of such
Oh, I
a
love it.
important moment like that. And, it's funny where you take it and you didn't realize like several years later that, you know what I mean? It was shot and then it started becoming more and more popular in that sense. So that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's a beautiful one.
Now it's been my moneymaker. That's
Yeah.
my mom on the side.
Nice.
That was the day she graduated college.
Mhm.
So that was like a big deal. She graduated with a 4.0 average,
Wow.
and she was on the roll list.
Wow.
So took a picture of her. She was happy that day.
Again, those moments that we can capture to take us back, you know? I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool when you're a photographer because like I tell my grandsons, I was like, you might not want to take this picture right now, like the one who was crying. Well, you might not want to take this picture right now, but in 10 years from now, when you're on your little Instagram and you're doing your throwback pictures, you're going to have the coolest throwback pictures out of anybody. So sit tight, right? At least do it for the IG, you know?
Yeah.
Do it for
Yes,
us,
exactly.
do it for your Instagram page that you don't have yet.
Yet. Oh, man. Let's see. Geez, your access throughout LA is just insane.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite trainers, Freddie Roach. For those that don't know, boxing trainer. I used to work out there, but I originally met Freddie at he had another gym called Outlaw Boxing with Mickey Rourke in Hollywood, and me and Danny Boy from House of Pain used to go work out there. And he was it's his gym with Mickey Rourke, so that was a lot of good fun. And now you see who he trains. He trains the best of the best, the best to ever do it.
Yeah,
that's at his gym in Hollywood.
So cool. There's your shirt, huh?
Yep, I brought that shirt just as a present for him, and he was like, "Hey, let me throw that on." And he's been wearing that to like really big and special events.
Wow.
That shirt. So I was like, man, I'm telling his people like, hey, can you give me a size and and the address? I'll send you guys the whole box.
Yeah.
But I guess he just been taking. I think he just dry cleans it and only wears it for like a couple minutes because it still looks brand new. It's still black. If you wash a black shirt, it gets that faded.
Yeah.
Still, super crispy. This was a shoot we did for Double XL magazine in San Francisco at the Fillmore West theater where he played.
Sick.
They flew me up there to do this photo shoot.
Man, you've been all over the place on your shoots and everything. Where's some of the favorite places that you've got to shoot other than Los Angeles?
Japan, Brazil, Europe, Mexico, India, Thailand.
Wow.
Australia, I had some good ones.
Got to go all over. I'm going to flip through some of the pictures as we're just kind of wrapping up here. And if you want to talk on any of them, just kind of let me know. I mean, here we go again on that iconic image. The other one was for your book cover. What was the name of the book on that?
Which one?
You have several books, right? So do you want to just tell us a little bit about your books?
Yeah, I have LA Woman, LA Portraits, and this Los Angeles. And hey, can you grab me the books right there? They were published by Drago in Italy.
Wow.
And I just stayed loyal to them because they were the ones that gave me the first chance.
Nice.
They hit me up and they were like, "Hey, can we do these books with you?"
Cool.
I said, "Sure." This is the one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Just
beautiful book. Yeah.
That type of stuff, and then this was the latest. This Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's a little bit thicker.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's good for the collection.
Absolutely. I got that first one there. I love it.
Then I'm working on 3 more right here.
Nice.
Low riding, some motorcycles in Japan, another LA Woman.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Between Sets. Make sure to like and subscribe to be tuned in on all future episodes. Thank you.